Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. This is our continuing series of Meet the Bookie. And our special guest today is Chris Andrews, sports director for the South Point Casino Sportsbook. And I got to tell you, Chris, we've been friends a long time. And when word started to leak out about, what was it, 10 days, 2 weeks ago on Twitter. I gotta love Twitter. I mean, I wouldn't know anything if it wouldn't be for Twitter. I couldn't help but thinking of that famous Al Pacino movie line, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. And that's what they did. Welcome back to Vegas, buddy.
Well, thank you. And I have to say, I've thought of that line a couple times myself because I finally got out and I was a competitor of yours,
yes,
friendly competitors, of course. But my business was going pretty good. And Michael Gaughan, who I've known since 1980, I always said there's a few jobs in this state I would consider, but that was one of them. And Michael called me, and we were talking about some personal things first, and then he says, well, how's your business going? I said, pretty good, Mike. Thanks for asking. You want to come work for me? And I kind of stammered for a second. He said, I'll pay you. I'm not going to repeat it. And I said, well, that's a pretty good figure. Let me talk to my wife a little bit, and we'll see what we can come up with. And my wife happened to be napping on the couch at that moment, and she could tell, I guess, that I was in an important conversation. She got up, and she was groggy and says, honey, sit down. Let me kind of explain. Michael called me, and I gave her the speech, and it took her about 5 or 10 seconds. She said, you have to take that job. You have to do that. So I was very happy to get back into the business under the right conditions. And I think right now, Michael Gaughan, Frank Toady, all the people over at the South Point are the best people in the world to work for. And they really, there's a couple things that I've wanted to do. And as soon as I say, Michael, Frank, I'd like to, this is your sports book. You do what you want to do. Oh, okay, and so far so good. And I mean, I get vague general directions from those guys. But within, we're still in the process of putting, making guys book my style, which I'm always looking to take a bet. I don't want to move on air. I don't want to do some of those things. And we take some pretty good limits. And I think within a couple weeks, you'll see a book that's, I think, among the best in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada.
Well, the other part, too, is, South Point's one of the few sports books in the city that you can wager 24/7, and it makes it nice, especially, there's a lot of locals that, this is a town that you work whenever you work. There's odd shifts, I've never seen so many, 24-hour fitness places. Not that I've ever seen the inside of one, but I've driven past
I've driven by a few myself, too. I don't think I've ever been in one either.
I'm amazed at the number of cars at 2 in the morning working out. But that's a convenience for people. And I'll admit, when I used to live just down the street, in a condo on the Strip there, many a nights I made a late night run over there and then hit the cafe for the old steak and egg special after midnight.
Right.
I can't pass that up. Give the cafe a little plug too.
Some great specials after midnight. But yeah, we're open 24 hours. We have a phone app, so we're available to anybody in the state of Nevada. And I'm very lucky. I inherited a very good crew. I inherited a very good sports book. It just needs, like I said, a little tweaking, different. Bert Osborne retired, and Bert and I were friends for many years. But I've come in and I just want to put in my own style. It's going to be a little bit different than Bert's, and I think we're going to make it a great sports book, which it already is, but we're going to try to make it even a little bit better.
Well, it's good to have you back in the city. I like it, and I got to tell you that. What is the connection? For people that don't know, you're from Pittsburgh, a Pittsburgh boy ourselves, and this town has had a lot of people that have migrated here from Pittsburgh in the, the gaming industry. What, are we just all degenerates back in Pittsburgh, or what is it?
Well, yes. I hate to say degenerates because I think we gamble in a smart way,
Okay.
But we do have that in our blood. And in all honesty, a lot of it is very much the ethnic culture. You're Italian, I'm Greek. I go down the list of my friends. There's not that many just regular white guys. I mean, it's a lot of ethnic people, and of course Pittsburgh has an abundance of that. And I think that's part of it. And we did the business back there. I think in many ways learned the right way and came out west, and the Pittsburgh people have flourished out here.
All right, we're going to let you give a little plug to South Point. You guys got anything special coming up for March Madness for the viewers that are in town and want to wager?
Well, first of all, we're going to open up our ballroom, and they walked me through it yesterday. It's this enormous, beautiful room. So that will be open in addition to the sports book, and then we will have another auxiliary room open as well. And there is betting stations up there, and I was just going through all the TVs. What I was worried about was the halftimes. He says, yeah, the halftimes will come flashing right up on the screen. So you'll be able to bet all the games, bet the halftimes. We have a half-point parlay card this year for the first week of the March Madness, which is, like I said, no ties lose, nothing like that. Half-point card, very playable card. I'm sure there's some friends of ours that I'm already going to have to look out for. But yeah, it'll be very playable, and we'll have some props up and everything else. So I think it'll be terrific.
And later in the big dance, a little special.
Yes, after the first weekend, we're going to -105 on all NCAA tournament games, and that'll carry through all the way to the finals. Yeah. So I don't know, you're going to find a better bargain in town.
All right, good stuff having you. You can follow Chris, your Twitter handle @AndrewsSports. Great follow. He's got a lot of information. And hey, if you're in South Point, walk by the sports book, tell the guy hello. And if you get a chance to corner this guy, he is got a ton of stories. We're going to share some of his stories in another video. This guy, he's been here for so long. Stay tuned to watch that here at WagerTalk.com.